Good afternoon, and thank you for joining Conversations for College Success. The topic today, informational interviewing, also called information interviews. Some of you may have heard the terms informational interviewing, also called information interviews. What are they? Why are they important? They mean the same thing, and the meaning is that it is one important way to gain information and knowledge about different types of positions, as well as the skills, abilities, and assignments specific to one or multiple positions within the career field that you are pursuing. It's also important for you to know that you will be making a first impression on the professionals that you will be interviewing. I would suggest completing informational interviews with at least 2 organizations that you would like to work for, asking them about the responsibilities and expectations of new hires or co-op students or interns. It's co-op students or interns because organizations do not have both. They will either hire interns or they will hire co-ops, or you could also be looking for a full-time position. I'm sharing 2 definitions of the word interview so you will better understand your role. An interview can be a formal consultation, usually to evaluate the qualifications of a prospective new hire for an entry-level position, or it could also be for a co-op or internship. In this case, you are interviewing an organization to determine the fit for you. It could also be a meeting at which information is obtained. In this case, you are gaining information about an organization for yourself. As the person completing the interview, you could be a student or an adult actually looking for information about that organization or to change careers through very well thought out questions. Therefore, in this case, you're interviewing a manager, possibly a vice president, a senior vice president, or even a president of an organization. And the goal is to learn about that person's career, learn about positions you are interested in, and also to evaluate the organization. The definition of information is you're looking for knowledge, which are facts or data that you have learned from your research of the organization and the person or people you will be interviewing. When you're looking for co-ops, internships, or full-time employment upon graduation, how do you decide what organizations to pursue and what opportunities are best suited for you? Informational interviewing can be very helpful and a very important opportunity to effectively learn more about your career field, about organizations to consider, about types of opportunities, possible positions within various organizations, and their expectations of employees before you ever apply or work for the organization. You'll have the opportunity to increase your professional network by completing informational interviews. If you would like more information regarding networking, make sure you listen to 3 of my previous podcasts. There's Opportunities to Network Part 1. There's also Opportunities to Network Part 2. And there's also Spring Career Fairs and Networking. What can a network or networking help you with? And also consider or be aware of what your network cannot do. Networking is interacting with other people, both within and outside of your career field, to learn and exchange information and to develop professional or social contacts. Stated another way, networking is the process of making connections and building relationships. These connections and relationships can provide you with advice, support, and a possible mentor, which can help you make informed career decisions. Networking can even help you find unadvertised jobs or internships. Networking can take place in a group setting or a one-on-one setting. This podcast is to help you complete one-on-one informational interviews. You will need to think through why this meeting is important to you and what you would like to learn. And what you're learning about is the organization, their culture, their expectations, the skills needed to be successful. You also want to ask about that person's background experience and how they got to the position that they're in. Generally speaking, there will be someone in a higher level position than you're looking for, which hopefully means they have been in that organization for 3 or more years. Do not, I repeat, do not ask for a job or position during this informational interview. And in reality, you should not have already applied for a position to work there either. Unfortunately, when you do that, you look like you're really not interested in the organization. You're using it as a ploy to get employed by the organization. So that would not be a good look for you. This means that you will need to research the organization or organizations, think about and write down the questions. Again, write down the questions and take the written questions with you so you have a plan to ask and gain important information. It's very important that you do not ask the salary for a specific position within the organization or ask that person what their salary is. What you can ask as your, I'll say, third to last question, what is the typical entry-level salary within this field? They will either know the answer or they may not. If they do not press the issue. Areas or topics to consider when you're creating questions would include what are the duties and responsibilities of the person that you're interviewing, just in case you may want to be promoted to that level. Also, for the level you are looking for, whether it's a co-op, internship, or entry-level position. What's the culture of the organization? What are the qualifications for certain positions that you're considering applying for in the future? You should also have looked at their job openings page or open jobs so you know which type of position you are looking for and which are available at that time. Again, you're not going to discuss the position, but in case they bring it up, you're aware of it. Reminder, you are not asking for a position at this time. You're not even talking about specific positions. However, they may ask you, have you looked at, and you can say, yes, I see that you have internships available, or I see that you have co-ops available. Or if you're looking for entry-level positions, I did see you have entry-level positions available. However, I would like to learn more about the organization before I apply. And you also want to learn more information about their expectations and qualifications of new hires. Now, it's important for you to know organizations will offer either co-ops or internships. They're not the same thing. I do discuss that in a previous podcast on spring career fairs. After your research, ask about the future outlook or trends for the field or industry. What's also important, you should have done some research on trends for the industry. Also, make sure you've done really good research on the organization. A second to last question you can ask, can you think of 1 or 2 other people I could talk to in order to learn more about this field? The people that they share could be either 2 people within the organization or outside of the organization. The last question, may I use your name when I call or contact them? Now, you will use either call or contact because hopefully they will be giving you either a phone number or an email address. Only if they agree can you use their name. If they do not agree, do not use their name. People who are referred will contact the person whose name was used to see if that's true. Only if you're interested, you can ask to shadow the person for either a full day or a half a day. That means you will spend time following them around that day to see what kinds of activities and things they're involved in. That will usually have to be set up because they will probably either want to have meetings or events or activities that they're involved in that you can pay attention to and not you just watching them work. Or they may offer if you're interested in shadowing. If they offer, definitely accept. You'll have the opportunity to meet more employees within that organization and complete more informational interviews at a later date from the different people that you meet. The informational interviewing meeting that you have should definitely increase your knowledge about that organization, their careers, the industry, the direction and trends of the industry, and that person. Make sure that you complete your homework on the person you will be meeting with. That means you can look at Google or LinkedIn. There may be information about them on the organization's website. Also, make sure you know if the organization is known for something specific or in particular. Also, I would look at who their competition is. Do not, I repeat, do not waste their time. Remember, you are making a first impression. You must, I repeat, you must complete 2 or 3 mock, or also called practice, informational interviews before you complete your first official informational interviews. The practice should be with people you know, hopefully who are in the industry, or adults that you know who are in professions that you can ask, that you know well, that you can ask, and ask them if those questions would allow you to obtain the information you're looking to obtain from those people, as well as are they questions that can help build relationships with those people. The reason this is important, you need to have an understanding of are you asking the right questions before your first official interview. When students have practiced with me, they'll ask me a question, I'll answer it and say, but that's not going to get you the information you're looking for. So you might want to reword it, or you may want to ask a different question. Now, you should also look at, when I mentioned to you that you should research the individual, by chance, did they attend the college that you're currently attending? Or do you have other potential interests in common? That's a nice way to start breaking the ice, because again, even though you've done a couple of practice, you're going to feel a little bit uncomfortable with your first few that you do. That's why you want to do the practice first, and then you'll feel a little bit more comfortable and know the kinds of questions that will gain the information that you're looking for. In an informational interview, you should be running this interview and have the opportunity to impress the person you are talking with. However, if the person takes over the interview and starts asking you questions about your degree, the college you're attending, your coursework, your work experience, your career direction, asking for a copy of your resume, so therefore make sure that you have a professional copy of your resume with you. However, they must ask you for your resume. Do not offer it if they don't ask for it. Again, they must ask you to see your resume. So you should have one, but please don't give it to them without their asking. Make sure you answer any questions that they ask of you. When people are interested or impressed with you, they will be more engaging and helpful to you. What your network cannot do is give you a job with their organization or any other organization. So do not ask. Again, do not ask for a job through your informational interview. It is designed to build relationships and contacts for you. It usually takes about a year to build a relationship with someone. And so there's a process through which you stay in contact with them periodically throughout the first year. And if you do that well, you'll be able to stay in contact with them for multiple years. I'd like to thank my subscribers, and I would also like to thank my listeners today, who I hope will become subscribers. If you have any questions, send them to conversationsforcollegesuccess@hotmail.com. Again, send your questions to conversationsforcollegesuccess@hotmail.com. Talk to you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.